a highly organized transnational criminal organization, sex traffickers, human traffickers. This is highly organized, right? So I know what you meant. They're not turned over to good people. They're turned over to the sex and human trafficking business, the multi-billion-dollar business. It's sick. I just want to ask a question in general, because it's literally the $64,000 questions. I think we're asking this all the time. Why are they doing this? Why has this administration, why have Democrats, you'll notice, by the way, even though they're invited, there's not one Democrat senator sitting here listening to your stories, asking questions. You know, that similar letter that I sent to Secretary Becerra after your interview with Project Veritas, I sent that to Senator Peters, chairman of Homeland Security now. We've not held one hearing on the border. We've had Secretary Mayorkas a couple times, and we've been able to talk about the border, but no hearing on the border. Certainly no hearing on this. You know, Senator Sanders, chairman of the Health Committee, no hearing on this. Now, God bless Senator Grassley for doggedly pursuing this and organizing this roundtable. I'll just ask, you don't have to answer this, but do you have an explanation? Why is the Democrat Party, why are Democrats in Congress, this administration, why are they pursuing this wide open border that's a clear and present danger to this nation? 2 million unknown gotaways. The sex trafficking we're talking about here, the human trafficking, the involuntary servitude, they know they're facilitating it. It's not a secret. Do you have any explanation in your own mind? I mean, I'm happy to have you conjecture.
It defies logic.
Pardon?
It defies logic and is inhumane. It really does.
But there has to be a reason, right? Anybody want to just state your assumption?
I could speculate as to many reasons as to why they would allow an open border. However,
I'm allowing you to.
However, I believe that bureaucrats don't want their program shut down. And if they have massive crowds at the border and they're not able to get a hold of it, just like Senator Langford was saying, that's a bad photo op, but that's also a reason to dig in further to actually what's going on and why they're so out of control. So I really think it's just a response. It's damage control.
But you think bureaucrats, the agencies are driving this to protect their jobs? I would disagree, because I think Border Patrol is overwhelmed by this. They're looking for any port in a storm. That they don't like this.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate.
They don't like seeing what they see in the border. You know, these young women raped, the taunting tree, the rape trees, the panty trees. They don't like seeing that. Yeah. They don't like seeing the dead bodies in the Rio Grande. So again, I'm looking at why is Biden doing this? Why are Democrat senators voting against completing the fence? You know, implementing policies that can prevent, stop incentivizing people to come to this country. I mean, we're asking them to flood our country.
Yes, and Senator Johnson, like my wonderful colleague Deborah, I don't like to speculate, but what I can say, it surely sounds virtuous to say we're reuniting children with families. That sounds wonderful, but that's not what's happening. So they're playing a little bit of smoke and mirrors. They're saying this thing on one side, we're so humanitarian, look at us, we're reuniting children with their families. But the reality is the horror that you described is that children now are the prey of criminal networks.
So how do they get away with it? The answer is the media. We haven't really explored. I think, Ms. White, you talked about Cherokee Federal. That's one of the NGOs. Is that the primary one that's been